Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Teleislas News, the most important news of the day. Much attention to the following note. Since 8 o'clock in the morning, hearings began on The Hague on the dispute between Colombia and Nicaragua. Today, the neighboring country presented its argument to claim it's issued against the Colombian country.
In December of 2001, 9 years after the judgment in the court, in this case on 19 November 2012, we are back where we started. When the territorial and maritime dispute was filed, the situation was that Colombia claimed the 82nd meridian as a line of delimitation.
During this first hearing on the litigation between Nicaragua and Colombia, the neighboring country began presenting its argument before the International Court of Justice, stating first of all that Colombia has violated the sovereignty of Nicaragua by not having delivered to this country the sea that was granted to it in the Hague ruling in 2012. Similarly, Nicaragua also added that allegedly fishing rights involved by Colombia to racial community is false because the right of artisanal fishing is not exercised in areas bordering Nicaragua, especially so-called Green Moon, since artisanal fishing is exercised in the Keys. In addition, within the arguments and the intervention of the neighboring country, it is assured that Nicaragua did not refuse to respect the artisanal fishing rights to the racial fishermen. In general terms, Nicaragua's argument are that there has been no progress in the process of sanctioning and respecting the judgment of the Hague ruling in 2012. The governor from the Hague for this news agency show how the defense is progressing for Wednesday.
Escucharon sus argumentos. Ahora a Colombia le corresponde.
Their arguments were heard. Now it is up to Colombia to make their case and argument in light of what they are going to present and the claim that they are going to make. We are also very much looking forward to the next days until October 1st to do everything that corresponds to us for the defense of the Colombian territory and the Archipelago Department.
Teleislas News will expand this news in our central broadcast at 8 p.m. and will continue to follow the other oral hearings.
By means of a strong operative device, the OCRE jointly with other authorities carried out a population control operation.
During the weekend, the Office of Control and Circulation and Residence conducted a population control operation with actions of identification and documentary verification of the citizens in the vicinity of the pedestrian walkway. The operation was jointly executed with Migration Colombia, the National Police, the CTI of the Prosecutor Office, the Secretariat of Government, and other departmental entities.
We as OCRE are doing verification and registration work throughout the hotel and commercial sector of the department for these festivities with the aim of guaranteeing or supporting security within the department and all the inhabitants.
According to the director of the OCRE, the operation are aimed at complying with Decree 2762 of 1991.
Bueno, el procedimiento consiste realmente en verificar la situación de residencia de las personas que están.
The procedure consists of verifying the residency status of the people who are outside the commercial establishment. We know that in the downtown area, almost all the public space is usually occupied by vehicles or pedestrians who do not enter the establishment. We are not entering the establishment. We are verifying the people who are outside them in order to verify their residency status and thus support everything related to security and during these festivities.
The first stage of the Seafloor Plus expedition led by the Humboldt Institute with the support of the Ministry of Environment and Carolina has been completed.
The Flora team that completed the sampling on September 11 was made up of researchers from the Humboldt Institute, Carolina, Universidad Distrital, the Botanical Garden of Medellin, and the beneficiary families of the Terrestrial Ecosystem Conservation Incentive Program, who established 39 vegetation monitoring platforms on the islands.
From the environmental cooperation of the department to the Humboldt Institute in the Seaflower Plus expedition, our support is logistical with the installation of nets and data in order to know the status of bats in the archipelago.
This expedition made it possible to study the bat population existence in the archipelago. This group of nocturnal flying mammals native to the islands of the archipelago is of great importance for the dynamics and recovery of natural environment after the passage of Hurricanes Eta and Iota, as they are seed dispersers and contribute to regulation insect populations. Similarly, this platform will be used to evaluate the potential for forest recovery and natural regeneration of the forest cover affected by hurricanes Eta and Iota during the year 2020. In the coming weeks, the studies of the amphibians, reptiles, and birds will continue, as well as the sampling of the hydrobiological component of the archipelago.
And in other news, a signature was given to initiate the reconstruction of the hospital in Old Providence, which was severely affected by Hurricane Iota, which has led this site to being inoperative up to now.
After 10 months of the passage of Hurricane Iota that devastated the island of Old Providence and affected the infrastructure of its only hospital, last Friday the Minister of Health, Fernando Ruiz, signed the act of initiation for the reconstruction of the hospital center, which today is in ruins.
The signing of the Initiation Act for the hospital in Old Providence, also today the completion of the signing of the agreement between the different entities that will be financing the reconstruction of the hospital of Old Providence. Consequently, this project has a deadline of 12 months. However, we aspire to finish it in a much shorter term so that the people from Old Providence can have as soon as possible their new hospital.
Part of the resources for the reconstruction of the hospital come from companies and entities such as the Risk Management Unit, the Argos Foundation, the Coca-Cola Foundation, as well as the Departmental Governor Office. The interim governor at the Mayor of Old Providence gave statements of the reconstruction.
Are these entities that have come together in a joint effort to move forward with the reconstruction of our hospital. Now comes the really important thing. The challenge is to do this work in record time. Thank you very much, Mr. Minister, for this support.
The community of Providence is currently receiving medical service at the field hospital set up by the government in response to the natural phenomenon.
And today in the morning, the Semana Andina was launched, a prevention week where young people are aware of sexual education and early pregnancy.
With the slogan Zero Pregnancies in Children and Adolescents Today and Always, the Andean Week began in the department this year. With a few words about this issue, the Secretariat of Health, the Director of the ICBF, and the staff of the Secretariat of Education shared their opinions.
I think this is supposed to start, or we always start it from preschool right up. In preschool, what you teach a child? To recognize their body, to respect their body, to recognize everybody is a person. I must respect your body, you must respect my body. And then right up, going up in stage, the different age and the different grade, then you're going to introduce to them some different idea and some different information. We want to help them to take the best decision when the time comes. Of course, they are youth, they are children, and the body as construct in a way where sooner or later they will have all these things they want to come up. They will have the desire to be with a couple, with a pair, and they need to have this information so they can take the right decision in the right moment, and then they won't have to, the education won't have to stay halfway, you know. They won't have to say, oops, I got a pregnancy and then I will have to put it down for a while, and then all I do is just give them a good step back. So education in school, sexual education in school is important and fundamental so these youth can strive ahead and make a better future for them and for the whole entire environment.
In the department, according to the Colombian Institute of Family Welfare, the number of pregnancies among girls and adolescents has decreased thanks to the years of hard work that the administration and other entities involved have been carried out with the young people.
And here is an overview of the coronavirus situation in our department to date.
On Saturday, September 18, the Ministry of Health issued in its daily report that the department added 2 new cases of COVID, while on Sunday, September 19, 4 cases were added. In this way, the department reached 6,850 cases since the beginning of the coronavirus. However, according to the Departmental Health Secretariat reported data September of 20, the number of active cases is 20, leaving a total of 6,679 people recovered. This graph also shows that the women have been the most affected by the virus with a total of 3,628 cases, while men have had 3,222 cases. With respect to the occupancy of the ICU, this graph shows that it is currently at 10%. The death toll to date is 134, while the most affected neighborhoods are Guinea Hen, San Luis, Sierra Obrero, Schoolhouse, and Back Road.